Hey, what's up, guys? It's Justin again, and this time I'll be bringing you guys a treat that I was talking about in my last video. I have a dual commentary with my good buddy. He's in a lot of my videos, Reader18. He's even on the receiving end of some of those beatdowns. But I'm actually using this video right now. This is the Dead Island trailer video. It was the worst Domination game ever played, and I'm going to use it for this because I didn't have a video that was long enough. But what I'm going to do is use this video because we're going to talk about a few topics that a lot of you guys can relate to. I realize now me and Reader18 are actually a little bit older, so he's married, and I should be married, but I'm not. And we're going to talk about ways you can improve your game. Not talking about your Call of Duty game, but kind of your game with the ladies. So I know a lot of you guys might not need these, but I wanted to make this into a series where other guys can come in, kind of leave their tips, maybe their epiphany, their aha moment about when they realized, you know, kind of figured out maybe the female gender. So I'm going to speak from male to female gender because that's all we know about. And hopefully we can get some females on here and they can talk about their experiences with this. So, but other than that, we'll go ahead and get started. So why don't you go ahead and say what's up, Reader.
Hey, how you guys doing? I don't know why I'm necessarily the expert on this, but when I do think back in my younger days, I did go through the entire process of not knowing it and then figuring it out, and then obviously being happily married now, I eventually got there.
So hopefully Reader18 will be able to impart some wisdom upon you guys, and we're going to try to hit him with some quick hitter topics. We'll give you some personal experience, maybe a few stories, just something to keep it light and entertaining. So our first topic is going to be things that you can take care of yourself. So kind of the things that you're in control with, because before you get in control, not control, that's a bad word. Before you get better at speaking with the ladies, you got to kind of take care of yourself and figure out a few things you need to do. So why don't you go ahead and take that one, Reader?
I'm basically going to approach this from the standpoint of, personal things like controllable aspects of your life. So these are the things that will be controllable in any aspect, and not just with the ladies. But the three things that I have are your clothing, your hygiene, and your personal space. So like one thing that you want to do is you want to shower. You want to make sure that your teeth are brushed, your hair is done, whatever. And I know that seems really obvious, or that's something that would just go without saying. But those little things, if you're just a little unkempt, a little unpolished, those can be the type of things that will turn a lady off right away before you even get a chance to do some of the other things that we're trying to say. So on top of that, the way you dress. Not that you need to all be GQ model, Abercrombie and Fitch, whatever, but maybe you might want to run your shirt through the dryer one time before
Maybe throw a wet towel in there.
Yeah, throw a wet towel in before you throw it on.
Oh yeah, before you go on though, we want to put a disclaimer out there. If you're super good looking as a dude right now, or you have tons of money, you're probably not watching these videos. So this is kind of for, Rob. Rob's probably a little better looking than I am, but I was never lacking. I might have been lacking in the looks department, but I think the confidence, and we'll talk about that later. But we're not trying to say, you need to listen to us because we're experts. But we're just saying little things that we found out and we discovered. So continue with those.
Yeah. So I was saying about you don't necessarily have to be a GQ model or a cover guy or whatever on that, because all the ladies, they're attracted to different things, different physical things. So whatever it is that you're comfortable in, that's fine. But make sure that you do it right. Don't be,
I'll ask you this question.
half-dressed.
How many times have you seen just a slamming girl with a dude that looks kind of weird? So you can tell that they're not necessarily attracted to, good looks all the time. How many times have you seen that?
Oh yeah, where you look at a girl and you're like, how did that guy end up with her?
I know, that's what everybody says to me when I'm walking around my girlfriend.
So obviously there must be some other things going on. The last thing is your personal space, I guess. And I'm a kind of a bad culprit of this now, being older and like I said, being married. But when I was younger, I wasn't gonna go pick up a girl and let her ride in my car with all my stuff all over the place, my McDonald's bags and my receipts and dirty clothes in the back seat and all that stuff. So any place that you're gonna bring a lady, you probably want to make sure that it's at least doesn't look like a total slob or landfill lives there. Not saying that you're all perfect or that you got to clean your bedroom all and tuck your sheets in like your mom taught you when you were little.
At least shove it under the bed or something.
Yeah, something so that at least give the appearance of having your space under control.
Yeah, that's a good point too. In our bachelor days, we're in my house right now, and so you can tell in my office we were playing some NBA 2K, and it's horrible in there. I got to clean that out. My girlfriend's been, on my ass for cleaning that thing out for the last 8 months, and I haven't even touched it yet. I was supposed to do a spring break, but that was a couple weeks ago. So, recapping, what was it? It was personal hygiene, right? That was one. Get some clothes right. Get your clothing all right. Get your game tight right there. And personal space. Make sure to be kind of clean. Just make sure you look like you know what you're doing, even if you don't. Okay. So we'll go on to topic number 2, and we were talking about this earlier. what do you think about, when you see a girl or a girl you like, or you're trying to, get some ladies, what about being yourself? Some guys aren't cool. Like, I'm not that cool. So what do you have? What is your opinion on that?
First thing is, in my opinion, if you're not going to be yourself, you will eventually at some point be exposed as a fraud. Okay? You can't go out there.
What? You can't just be funny all the time?
For example, let's make it a monetary thing. If I met a girl and I was rolling around like I had the unlimited wallet pocketbook, which I, obviously don't.
Like you act like you drove a Lexus and all that stuff.
Exactly. Eventually I'm going to run out of money, or I'm not going to be able to afford that sort of lifestyle just to impress somebody. So you kind of have to do exactly, what you would do and be yourself in that way. Or, like I said, at some point you're going to be exposed. One thing that we were talking about a little earlier is on being yourself. Don't do stuff that you can't do. So if you're not a funny person, you're not a funny guy, maybe you don't want to try to be a funny guy. For example, I don't think that I'm a super funny guy.
Yeah, what's your approach to this? 'Cause I'll tell you mine after this. What's yours?
On the comedy part, or just in general?
In general, like.
Oh yeah, so I'm just not. I've never been a super funny guy. That doesn't mean I haven't had my moments, but I'm not going to try to do a stand-up routine every time I'm in public or every time I'm with a girl or whatever, because I just can't. I'll run out of jokes. I don't have that. So what I've found is that ladies that have been attracted to me have thought I was funny by being myself and kind of doing my own thing. I remember this one time that I was in high school. I was just hanging out with a bunch of friends, and I was telling some stories. And I don't necessarily think that they were funny stories, but I kind of caught the attention of this girl because she was entertained by it. Mm-hmm. She must have liked the way that I talked, or liked the flow that I had in my storytelling or timing, and maybe even thought it was a little bit funny. But that's still not really my not a funny guy thing. So that's basically about being yourself. You got to just kind of go with it.
All right, so be yourself. So I guess if you like video games, you can kind of not really talk about it. Try not to talk about too many video games, but you can still be yourself on the video game deal. I'm kind of with Rob on that too. Whoops, I'll edit that shit out. I'm kind of with Reader18 on that. We both not really that funny. I think I'm funny, but I think my humor is a little bit different. So I think that kind of takes people a little bit off guard. We got about 5 more minutes, but we're going to get into the huge topic right now, and that's going to be on the subject of confidence. So for those that are lacking in looks, money, or ability, okay, which is a lot of us guys, right? The only thing that I've ever been certain, 99, well, I don't know if it's 100%, maybe 99% of the time, all women, girls, whatever, no matter how old they are attracted in some sort of fashion to confidence. So, Reader, why don't you go ahead and talk about that?
Oh man, this is really where it's at. Excuse me. I guess the biggest thing here is you get this mentality in your head, especially if you haven't had a ton of experience, that girls like bad boys or they like assholes or whatever.
They don't like, yeah, go ahead.
The thing about being an asshole, it's not the asshole or being mean part. It's that guy has confidence and doesn't enough confidence to not care what somebody thinks about him. And so that's where that becomes attractive. So in being confident, we talked a little bit about this before, where we said that you can try to do things that you're good at, or present yourself in a positive way without being like braggy or whatever. But when you feel comfortable and when you know that you're like in your wheelhouse,
yeah, you gotta be comfortable in your own skin, man. You gotta.
That's where the confidence is going to show through. So if you can't just be yourself and be it all the time and be it confidently, it's going to be hard to attract the type of lady that you're trying to attract.
Yeah, talk about the making your move part, because we talked about the countdown that, whatever 16-year-old kids do. But and we got to talk about the touching thing, because while I don't recommend touching every single woman you meet or anything like that, you kind of have to. At least you need to make some contact. You need to get in the lane and get some bump in there, right? The reason why is because it sends a message that, hey, one, that you are confident and you're not scared of what's going to happen. And here's the thing. If you're kind of like asking a girl out or going on a date if she went out on a date with you, if she's out with you already, she obviously wants you to touch her. It doesn't matter how bitchy she looks, okay? She's just doing that because she wants to test you. So you got to go in there. You got to get some contact. But we were talking about confident contact, okay? You can't just be lingering on her and kind of like just rubbing her, like a mini massage. We were talking about this at happy hour. We were talking about so-and-so's boyfriend. You remember that? And I was like, I don't like the way he touches that girl. And he's like, oh, that kid's harmless. I was like, I know. I can tell by the way he's touching her. And so, like, everybody can see this. So it's kind of hard to see because we're not in a video. But you can't just, like, you just don't touch her just to touch her. Like, have a purpose with it, you know? If you're going to just do, like, you know, your arm around her or whatever, don't just, like, I'm doing this motion right now, and Reader's looking at me.
He's like you can't, not just going to tap her shoulder with the right side of your hand, just touching to touch.
Yeah, and don't handcuff her, okay? Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm taking this over. Continue, please, Reader.
So another thing is about you need to be comfortable having a conversation. That's how that's one of the ways that you can practice confidence and show confidence. One thing that you can do is you need to start, especially if you lack in this area, if you never feel like you have anything to talk about, get in there with everybody that you meet and talk to them. Yeah,
that's my tip too. I gave that on another video, and you're talking about every single person you meet, old, young.
Yeah, for example, if you're still in school, say you're still in high school, if every conversation that you have with a teacher is just hi, bye, thanks, you know, every once in a while, try to sneak a couple sentences in there. Ask a question, you know, be interested in something. The cashier at the grocery store, you know, you just stand there awkwardly and stare at her while she rings it up.
Because when your moment comes, it's going to be natural to you.
Yeah, you can't practice situational conversation. You just have to practice conversation. The only way to do that is by having conversations. So that's another huge thing on confidence. Another thing about gaining confidence I was thinking about is, and this is part of the practice conversation thing, you can, you can kind of flirt with or talk to girls that you may not be interested in, so that when that one that you really want to talk to comes along, you've kind of got some of the kinks out. You know what I'm saying?
You can iron that out. So this video is about to wrap up. We got about 30 seconds left, so let's kind of recap what we got going on. We had things you can take care of, and if you guys like this as a series, I got plenty of videos on this. Okay, this dude might know a thing or two. Things you can take care of: being yourself. Okay, the facade is going to be up, okay? So don't... The facade is going to be up, so just be yourself. And with the confidence thing, that's the most important part. And don't touch just to touch. It's really weird looking. Everybody knows it. You're just making your girl... I don't know. You know how I feel about that. But we'll try to get another one up here. But as usual, rate, comment, subscribe. I've been JustKS04 and...
Be confident, guys, and get out there. I like video games. I like computer stuff. I like watching YouTube. But if you don't get out there and actually meet some girls, none of this stuff is really going to matter. Good luck.